So welcome back. Let's move to the next task. We are already done with the document production. You will find the link in the description. We're going to carry on right now with the database. The whole file, source file, is going to be in the description. There will be a link in the description. You can download the whole file, and plus the work file that I'm working on it right now. It will be available in the link in the description box, so you can find it all in too. What you can do, you can go to just click on the Google Drive link and then go and download it. Okay, it's just very simple. Okay, let's move right now to the databases. Okay, we're done with this, and let's move to the next task. You're now going to prepare some reports. Make sure all currency values display in the same currency symbol. So in case you're using dollar, make sure dollar is used in all the wherever there is currency, make sure it is dollar. In case you're using a pound or whatever currency you're using, just make sure it is the same currency, and then make sure it is set into 2 decimal places. That's a very important 2 points. We need to care about it throughout this whole task. So question number 11, examine the file that is called games.csv and identify the most appropriate field to set as a primary key, and then close this file. So we need to go, as I mentioned, this is the file that we extracted previously, and we just right click on it and then we extract it to that specific folder name, and then we made sure that the extension is visible. As you can see, the file name extension was visible, and I prefer to always group it by the type. These are the 2 most important points I care about it during the practical of the ICT paper. So we're supposed to open this CSV file, so let's open it and let's examine it. Whenever you open any CSV file, go and click over here and then double click in between any of the columns. It's going to automatically adjust it for you, so you can see all the columns. Nothing will be invisible. So you can see there is a game title, a release year for that game, a generated code, and you can see it seems not a unique one, so we cannot set it as a primary key. Game code, this probably seems like a unique code. Age code, that doesn't seems like a unique. And then there is a game publisher, different publisher places, the price. So here we go, we're going to set this as a decimal 2 places, and it will be with a specific currency. Console type, platform, global sales, and the rank. Okay, so you need to estimate which should be the unique key. Probably to me this will be the unique key. So in case you're not sure, what you can do, highlight over that column, go to conditional formatting, and go to the first option, highlight cells rules, and then duplicate values. Click on it. In case it is duplicated, it will highlight it in red. So you can see nothing is highlighted in red, but go till the last point. Okay, if for example you said, okay, all right, I'm going to set up, for example, this one as a unique key, do the same step that I did it right now. Let's apply duplicate values to it, and you can see everything is red. That means it's a duplicate value. So we're going to use game code as a duplicate value. So close it and don't save it, as I mentioned to you. So using the database software, import this file into your right now access field. Use these field names and the data types. We need to refer to this table whenever we're importing. Okay, for right now, what we need to do, first thing, in your work area, right click and create your database file. I prefer to do it with this step because this will make sure my files are in the same work area. I won't be scattered during the exam time. You can just call it DB or your database. Okay, there's no specific name you need to tie to it. Okay, let me enable the content, and let's import the file right now. So let's go to external data and then click on new data source from file and text file. Don't go to this option. CSV file is not an Excel file. Okay, CSV file is a type of file that can be a generic file that can be opened with different files, and it's usually a text file. So browse to your work area, and for me, I'm just going to copy this link, paste it. It will be faster for me. and then go for that CSV file and simply import it. Next, first row contains field names. Next, the primary key. What we decided primary key is going to be this one, right? Yeah, the game code. Next, before you're finishing it, I'm going first to set up the name, adjust the name, and then don't forget to click on advanced. Here, this is an important step. Let's compare it right now with our table over here. Game title supposed to be a text, so it's already in short text. Release year is supposed to be a number. It should be an integer with 0 decimal places, so long integer. Later we will set it into 0. And then the rest 4 should be text. So text, 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 till game publisher. Price, as I mentioned to you, it's supposed to be a currency and 2 decimal places. So go to the price, make sure it is currency. In case you forgot to do it here, you can do it later, but I prefer to do it from the beginning over here. Later we will set it into 2 decimal places. Console type and platform supposed to be text, so short text, and the last 2 should be number. This sales, global sales, should be in decimal 2 places, and this supposed to be in integer 0 places. So right now I will just leave it double and this integer, and I set it as okay. I will just write it down again and click on finish. Okay, in case there is an error going to come, you're going to get another import error table. So at that time you have to delete it and re-import it again, and you have to check what was the issue. As it is one table, that means it is correct and everything is coming correctly. Let's go back again to home, click on design view, and let's right now set up wherever we need to set up. Here, release year, it's supposed to be 0 decimal place, so it is 0, but you need to go back again here and make sure it is 0. Just type it 0 or select 0. Then price, it needs to be decimal, 2 decimal places. So let me go. Oh, sorry, I'm already here. So where is it? It is the price. Price over here, it needs to be wait. Yes, price, you can see it is okay set in sterling pound, so I'm going to just leave it as it is, and I'm just going to set it into 2. If in case you want it in dollar or any other currency, you can just go and change it as you like, euro currency or whatever currency you prefer. Okay, you can see right now it's 2 decimal places, and then before the last one is supposed to be decimal also in 2 places. This one, it's some of them are 1, some of them are 2. Yes, so let's just set it into 2 decimal places. So I'm going to set it into 2, and the last one supposed to be 0 decimal, but it is 0, but I'm just going to set it here 0. That's it, we're done. Let's move to the next one. Save the identified field as a primary key, save the data, and then screenshot, place in your evidence document, screenshot showing the field names, data type, and the primary key used in the table. All right, right click, save it, and go over here. Make sure your primary keys with whatever we identified, okay, and take a screen capture of this one. Great. And as you can see here in your question paper, this is step 11. So when you go to your evidence file, make sure you're following the exact steps. This was from the previous task, and right now we're moving to the next one. Okay, just Control S, and let's move to the next task. Question number 12, import the file that is classification.csv as a new table in your database. Use the field name and the data types provided, and set the age code as a primary key. Place it in your evidence document showing all the field names and data types and primary key used. Okay. So let's get back again over here. I can close here to go back again to external data from file, text file. You can go and examine that file and check if there is anything you want to see it. So let's do that step, which is classification. So that's prior before importing. So you can just check it. You have age category, age code, and the descriptor. Okay, so that could be just a number, text, and short text. Next, first row is containing field names. Next one, and the primary key, as they mentioned, it should be the age code. Okay. Before finishing, let me click on advanced. Okay. And just set the name, a clear name. Classification. And then we're done with this table. Okay. Great. Let's go for the next one. Okay, I need to take screen capture, I forgot. Okay, I need to do that. Home, and then design view, and then let's take a screen capture. Primary key already set up. And that's going to be step number 12. So you can see here, I already have step number 12. In paper 2, the evidence file will be already ready for you, but in paper 3 you have to write down this most of the time. I'm not sure right now, we're going to do later paper 3, so most of the time it's not written, you have to type it by yourself. Okay, for the next one, import the file, that is CSV file, as a new table in your database. Use the field names and data types provided and set the gen code as the primary key, and then evidence file needs to take the screenshot. Okay, then new file, from file, text file. We need to find the CSV file. Okay. Next, first row. Next one. And then the primary key will be the gen code. And it's supposed to be just two short texts. Final. The name. And finish it. Last thing, let's take the screen capture. One thing is, whenever you take a screen capture, make sure you're including the title of the table. So don't do it without it. It's better to include it. It will be much clearer idea. So you can see here, in every screen capture, I put the title of the table. Okay, great. Make it sure that also it is not a small screen capture like that, because this file have to be printed out and the examiner have to correct depending on this file. So make sure it is clear. Don't make it also too much big like that, it's crazy. Just do the good size, suitable size for print out and visible to the person who can correct it. So we're done with this step. Let's move to the next. So we're going to create right now this relationship between the tables. So we have the gen code in the gener table and the gen code in the games table, and then you have the age in classification and the age code also as well in the games table. Okay, let's just go right now to database tools, add the relationships, and add our three tables over here, and let's link it. So we have the gen code with the gen code over here, link from one side to another, and we need to make sure that it is one-to-many relationships, so we can just enforce the referential integrity and create it. That's one side. Okay, so gen code, which is supposed to be from games to gener, and see from games and gener. Next one, between classification and games, supposed to be the age code, which is over here and over here. So let's connect them, activate the referential integrity, the no unique font. Let me check must be something wrong with our tables. No, sorry, it's not the age category, it is the age code, my bad. Okay, differential integrity. Okay, right now correct. Save it and close it. Oh no, I need to take the screen capture, so get back again to it, relationship, and just take a screen capture. I always prefer to take it with a title, so in case not to be too big, just going to put it like that and take the screen capture. And that's our next step. Okay, that size is okay for me. Let's move to the next one. 15. Add the following as a new record in the games table. So games title, we're going to add, so open games table, okay, and add this following records. To do so, I prefer to put them next to each other like this. Save it, of course, save it. And let's go to the games table, and what you need to do, you have up to 498 record. Click on the last one over here, and then just to make sure, or you can just press on new blank one, and you can start to add your details over here. You can just, it's of course in your exam paper you won't have such electronic paper, it will be a physical paper, so you need to practice always by typing. For me, just to save time, I'm just going to copy it because the keyboard is a bit far from me. Or okay, I think it will be better just G6 and then PZ020. Next one is C3. Make sure of spelling, don't make any spelling mistakes, and also make sure of capital and small letters, that's very important. Creation arts, .80 Cyrus 360, GD7, and then 4.86. Last thing is 203. Okay, I'm just making sure there is no mistake. Save it. Okay, just to make sure that it is saved, I always go and click on the next like that. Okay, so it is saved, and if you want to look for it again, you can. It won't be done for sure always. So okay, why I'm not just pressing here. Okay, can you see it's not always down, so I'm just going to do Control F, and let's write. Oh, did I write spelling mistake? I think I had a spelling mistake, Thomas. 2006. I think there is another better way I can look for it. I'm just going to sort it out, and then I can easily find it. It was Dr. Thomas. Yeah, with D, E, D, 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 D. It starts with D, so I need to go up. I thought it is only Thomas. Yeah, I had a spelling mistake, so it is Thomas, not TH. Okay. TOMAS. And that's it. So just make sure always whenever you enter, make sure it is entered. Go back again to it and make sure it is entered. So many mistakes happens that you think it is entered, but later it was not entered for different reasons. Check your data entry for errors, again as I told you, and save it. Number 16, using fields from all the three tables. So this is important when they mention to you. You need to do it from which tables, okay? So we're going to create a tabular report, okay, from those three tables. Sometimes I mentioned to you only 2 tables or 3 tables with specific names. You need to be careful about that point because the results will be different. So let's select the record from where console type begins with the text Cyrus and release year supposed to be 2000 or any year later, and it needs to show this following years. Okay, to do so, let's go right now to create, and then before any report you need always to start with a query. I prefer query design. If you prefer query wizard, it's up to you. Click on query wizard and add all the 3 tables as they mentioned. Okay, and right now let's start to add the tables that they mentioned. Those are the fields that mentioned. Okay, so in the same order you need to add them. So let's start with the game title, and then genre. I'm looking right now from another screen, so you make sure you're going with the same flow. And then genre, next one, and then I have age category over here. Come on, why it didn't appear? I need to double click. Okay, it appeared. And then release year and console type. So release year and console type, and last one is rank. Okay, we got it in the same order. And with data and labels displayed in full, do not group the data and sort the data into ascending order of the rank. Okay, sorting, do not do it over here. It will mess up your data later. I will show you at the end how to do it. Let's right now apply this. You don't need to go in order. Okay, first thing, you need to show the fields. That's the first thing. After that, let's apply this records. So console type should start with the text Cyrus. I will show you something right now. Let's run it. Console type, go and look here in console type. You can find different console types, and some of them are starting with Cyrus. So they want us only the consoles that starts with Cyrus. Here we're going to use a wildcard. That means Cyrus, if I put it, it's going just to look for whatever exactly with Cyrus. No, I don't want that. I want the beginning to be Cyrus, but following it can be anything. So I'm just going to put a star here. That means whatever follows, it doesn't matter, but the beginning should be Cyrus. That's called a wild card. As you can see, number of records reduced, and I got only console types to be Cyrus. Next one, the release year is supposed to be 2000 or later. That means 2000 should be included, and 2011, 12 or whatever follows later. If you looked over here, release years, you have even in 90s as well. I have 75 record. Let's apply the next criteria, release year. So it should be larger than or equal to 2010. Let me show you one thing. Some of you might do it like that. Okay, and you can see 2010 is not included. It's 28 records. It reduced than 75, less than 75 than the previous record. Let's add right now. We need the 2010 to be included. Okay, or later. That means that will be included. So larger than or equal to, and then you will find it become 32 instead of 28. So you can see I have 2010 as well. Okay, this is the right way of doing it. After that, sorts the data. I'm going to do this later. So I'm done with this step. I'm done with this step. Okay, I need right now to do those following steps. Right now this is for the query part. So save it, go with the step number. So step 16, you can name it anything actually, and then go to create, click on the report wizard and choose the query that we just created. Add all of them. Next, do you want to view it in any specific way? No. Do you want to group it? What is mentioned here, do not group. Okay, next, sorting. I'm not going to sort here because it's going to mess up my order of this field, so don't do it here unless if you have a lot of time and you want to go and do it, just do it. But I will show you another better way. Okay, we need it to be a tabular, right? So tabular, and then page orientation supposed to be portrait. So it is already portrait. Click on next. Okay, finish. That's it. I forgot to put the name. Okay, we will put it right now. Okay, fits on one single page. It needs to be only one page, so we need to make sure of those points. Let's go to design view right now. Let's go into this view. Okay, it needs, first of all, it needs to be in the same order. Make sure it didn't get messed up. So let's start to adjust it. Okay, you can see some of the names are not showing fully. You need to expand it. Generate doesn't need to be really that much wide, so I'm just going to reduce it and move it to the right. Okay, there is an important point here, right? When you choose the title or content, you need to move them together. So you can just select on your keyboard Shift or Control and move it together, and select them both, I mean, by holding a Control key or Shift key. Okay, okay, that's enough, no need to be too much. The next one, category, show the name fully. Okay, let's go to the last one. Console type doesn't need to be that much. Alright, we're done with adjusting. Just make sure game title, genre, age category, release, console type, and then lastly rank. It's in the same order. Great. Let's adjust the data to be in ascending order depending on the rank. Okay, so here to do it, go back to home, click on design view. In design view, you're going to find in the report design at the top here there is group and sort. Click on it and add the sort. Okay, we need it to be based on rank. Oops, so click on rank, and rank supposed to be ascending order, so it is from smallest to the largest, or sometimes if it is from A to Z. Okay, so that's ascending. Let's check it right now. As you can see here right now, the rank is from smallest to the largest. Okay, fits on one single page. That means it is one page. You can see it is not going into 2 pages. Whenever they say it should fit on one page, it means in terms of those fields, it shouldn't be like rank is going into the second page, and that's one point. So make sure it is all the fields are fitting into one page. Another point, the last row, it should be all into that same page. It shouldn't the second or like 1-2 rows going to the second page. Everything should be fitting into one page. Okay, we're done with this point. Includes only the title, latest Cyrus console games. So let's put this displayed in a larger font, fully visible at the top of the page. So let's put that title over here, and you can modify it if you like to. So you can make it a bit bigger. Okay, that's enough, and make it bold. Control B. Has your name, center number, and candidate number on the report. Okay, then you can just go back again to home, design view, and you can put your name over here in the page footer or page report. I'm just going to add it in the report. As these things are not mentioned, so I'm just going to remove them. Close it, and then go over here and add. Okay, so I put the center number, my name, center number, and candidate number over here. Let me just show it fully. Okay, Mama is recording. Okay, let me just put it. Yeah, you can see what I'm recording. Okay, so let's show it over here. Okay, so it's showing on the report. So that's the final thing. Don't touch. Okay, and let me just set the name of the report to be with the same name. So rename it to be with this name. That's it. Okay, the final point, you just need to print that report. So you can go over here, right click, export, and you can say it in PDF or XPS. So we're going to choose PDF, and we're going to call it print out. That was print out 1, so we can just call this print out 2 and publish it, save it. So here you go. Whenever you have the printer or you have the printer at the same time, you can just print it out. Let's go to the next one. Question number 17. So using fields from games table and classification table, produce a tabular report. So here it is mentioned that it needs to be from these specific tables. Okay, so we're going to go with the same steps. We're going to go to create, click on the query design. I prefer this one. If you prefer this, you can go ahead. And then we're going to choose only these two tables, as you can see, and we're going to add, directly jump to this part. Okay, so we're going to add game title, age category. Just double click on whatever you need from them and add them over here. I have already done adding them, so I am done till this step here. And remember, do not group. They usually mention this always. Do not group at all the data. After that, let's jump back again to the first part. Select the records. Oh, wait a bit. Before that, there is one thing here. We need to add this sales percentage, which should be calculated at the runtime. This part was mentioned over here. Okay, so we need to do it. So contain a new field called sales underscore and then percentage. How you're going to do? Here we're going to have it expanded. I prefer to expand it always. And then type sales, then underscore, which is shift and a dash, and then shift with number 5, and then colon. Okay, we always write a new expression like this. And then how it's supposed to be written. This field will display the percentage sales for each game in this selection. Okay, the total number of games sold was 354. Use global sales divided by 354, then multiply it by 100. Format this field to display with 2 decimal places. So what we need to do, we're just simply going to take the global sales, we'll divide it by 354, and then multiply it by 100. So let's go over here. So we need to take the global sales. You can see there is already a field named global sales. Copy the name exactly, but if you can type it correctly, make sure you're typing it correctly without any mistakes. And whenever you have a field, you need to put it between square brackets like this. Okay, so put the name exactly without any mistakes. You can just copy it from here and then divide it with 354. Okay, so as I mentioned here, divided with 354. After that, multiply it with 100. It is for sure the division will happen first here, but to make sure that it got multiplied later, so put the brackets for the higher priority, it will happen the division, and then multiply it by 100. Let's check it right now. You can see we got it over here. After that, we need to set it into format this field to display 2 decimal places. So right click, properties, you can choose over here standard, okay, and set it into 2 decimal places, and then run. You can see it's already set up. It was already set up actually since before, that's why it appeared. Yours, it won't set up since the beginning, so you need to go and set it up and make sure it is. You can choose your standard or fixed, so it's going to work any of them, and just make sure it is 2 decimal places. Okay, so we're done with this. Right now, let's go to the next point, which is select the records where the game title includes the text Thomas. So you can see here the game title here. There are some games that include the name Thomas. We just need only those game titles. So whenever a name is included, you cannot just put it plain like that. It's not even going to appear. We need just to include the name. So we're going to use the wildcards, star, Thomas, and star. That means beginning, ending, it doesn't matter what is it, as long as Thomas is included. As you can see here, we're going to get the result right now, and it is less right now. It used to be more than that. The next one is age code. It's supposed to be either C3 or C4. So that's the age code. Let me show you here the age code. Okay, the one thing is we don't have age code over here, so you're going to be confused that they didn't ask me to show it, but they're asking me here. So what you do here, let me close this. Let's double check. Yes, we don't have H code, so you need to go over here, edit. Okay, you can see we have 55 records. H code is appearing here, but we need to make it invisible in a while. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the criteria for it. So it needs to be C3 or C7. So or C7. Here we go. So it is either C3 or C7, and the records reduced to 42. So I need this criteria, but I don't need this field to appear. So just remove the tick from here. So as you can see, criteria is applied because the result is 42 records, but it's not appearing. So we're done with these points. Sorts the data, and sorting the rest of the points we will do it after saving the query. So let's save it. Let's call it step 17, and let's go and create the report. So report wizard, add all of them and make sure that the H code is not added, the one that we from here. Okay, so you can see it's not over here. Next, no view, no grouping, no ascending descending over here yet. Okay, here it needs to be tabular report, and page orientation needs to be landscape. So make sure you're selecting a landscape. Next, and that's going to be named only, that's the title. I'm just going to put it with the same name. Okay, you can see whenever you put the title, it appear over here as well. First thing, go to the layout view. Make sure everything is in the same order. So I'm going to hold shift and adjust it. There are some names are not fully visible. Let's go for the next one. I'm going to make it a bit wider and more to the right side. Actually, I need more space. So I went to the right side. I am trying to adjust from the right side as I have a lot of space here, and moving the things more to the right so I will get more space on the left. Just whenever you adjust, make sure whatever fields you have, you're not cutting it. I think it doesn't need all this space, so I'm just going to move it to the side. And then for category, let's expand it a bit more. Oh, the name is a bit, yes. Okay, you can see here in game title there are some of the names still not fully visible, so I'm just going to, yeah, all right, we're done. So let's go and save it right now, or just save it, and let's go to home back again, design view, and then we still have some of the points here to do. So I'm done with the title, so I'm just going to make the title a bit larger. Go over here, bold, I'm going to make it, and I will increase the size to 24. Bold, and then okay, sorting. We need to sort the data in ascending order for the console type, and descending order for the global sales. So you need to go with the same order. I mean, first for the console type, ascending. So let's go over here, click on sort, console type, and it needs to be ascending. Okay, so that's from smallest, or A on the top. Second one, it should be global sales. So add sort global sales, and it needs to be largest to the smallest. Right now, if you looked over here, you can see the console type, which is A on the top, which is ascending, and then global cell largest to the smallest. From number to text, it will show in a different way. Okay, you can see depending on the console type. So let's see, here is the console type, C, A, then C, and then G, and so on. And descending depending on the global sales. So you can see in C, for example, you can see we have here. So go to global sales, we will find in C starting from the highest till the lowest in each, first depending on this ascending and then this descending inside this category. And then we are done with this sorting. Okay, everything should be fitting on one single page width. Previously they mentioned that it needs to fit on one single page. That means the width and the height both. But here they're saying specifically the width. The width, what I mean here, means this starting from the field of game title up to sales, everything should be in one field. If it is going to another page, that's wrong. Okay, but the height doesn't matter. You can make it into a second page, doesn't matter. I will show you. Make it with a print preview. You can see it is 1 out of 2. And if you looked at page 2, it is just the remaining of the fields or the remaining of the rows. So the height is extending fine, but the rows or the columns should be all into one page. So that's the width. The width should be fitting into one page. Okay, so don't try to fit all the rows into one page. It will not be possible. Only the width. So this is done. And then we need to calculate the average price and places below the price column. So go below the price column and then calculate the average price and places this. Okay, for this one, let's go to the design view, and then here on the price, right click. We need to get the average price and places. So we're going to go over here, right click, and then you're going to find there is return total. You can click on average, so it will give you the average of the price. You can expand it to see it. Check it right now. It will go down below here. We need just to adjust it to be exactly below the price. To do so, just go to layout view. I'm going to make it a bit left, and you can see that we need to adjust its currency as well, and needs to be, because any money or any currency value, it needs to be, so right click, it needs to be in the same format. So it is in pounds, so I'm going to make it with, I cannot see here, over here I found it, with the currency with 2 decimal places. Great, just right below that, adjust it a bit more if you want to be accurate. Okay, and then we need to format this with 2 decimal places with a currency and has a label. So there should be a label with that, and it should be to the left of this value. So go back here, and we need to make it back to design view. Most of the things you can do it in the design view. Go back over here, label, and put it to the left of this value and put the name. Okay, going to make it bold. I'm going to do one thing, make it to the right. Okay, so let's check it right now. You can see I need a bit of adjustment, and we're done. Just don't waste a lot of time. I think I'm just using a lot of time for it. Okay, that's enough. Okay, after that, one thing, I'm just going to make this as well bold, so we will know those are the average game price. And then done with this point, done with this point as well, and has your name, center number, and candidate number in the footer of the report, so it appears in the same position on every page. When they mention to you that it appears on every single page, what you can do, you have to go to the design view. You have two footers. One is called the page footer, that will appear on every single page, and you have the report footer. Report footer will appear only on the last page. If you have 5 pages, it will appear on the 5th last page. So this needs to be only on the last place, but this should be on every single page. So it needs to be, but I don't need this, so I prefer to remove them. I'm going to the report design here, and I'm going to put the name and candidate number and okay, I will show you right now in the print preview. You will see that that's the first page, and the name, candidate number, center number, everything is visible. Go to the second page, which is the last page. The average price is showing in the last page, and as well as the candidate number, center number. So save it and print your report, and place your in your evidence document a screenshot showing the database formula used to calculate the average price. Okay, so let me save it first. Let's go back. It's this one. So right click, export, and that should be print out 3. You can see it will be in 2 pages. Okay, and then take the screenshot for the formula that we just did it right now. Let's go for it. You can close this print view and go to the design view and take a screen capture of this one, and that will be step 17 over here. So that's the end of this task, and I'm going to put this work file already in the link description. So you're going to find in the link all the files for this work paper 2, of all of those paper 2 files. And see you in the next task, which is for presentation.